What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode number 2 of the weekly musings of a digital entrepreneur. It's Saturday the 12th of November. It's a very early morning here in Manchester, and I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I would usually do, mainly because of some travel plans. I'm heading back down to Portsmouth today, where I'm originally from. It's my mum's birthday next week, but she's going away on holiday. So we're going down to see her and my sister. And more importantly, tomorrow is the Remembrance Sunday events here across the UK. For those of you who are watching from overseas, and I know that actually a lot of the viewers on this channel are American, Remembrance Day is Armistice Day. I think you call it Veterans Day in the US, but it signifies the 11th hour of the 11th minute of the 11th day in 1918, when the guns fell silent in World War One. It's celebrated every 11th of November, and then the closest Sunday after, we always have our Remembrance Sunday. And it's important for me as a veteran that I spend that with my family, specifically with my dad, who is also a veteran. He's a veteran of the Falklands War, and remembering those family, friends, colleagues, brothers and sisters that and even those who we never knew that went before us and gave their lives in the ultimate sacrifice in conflicts around the world. So if you are watching it and you're a veteran, or anyone, then happy Remembrance Weekend. I hope that the weekend isn't too tough for you, and that it's used for the right reasons. So that's the plans for the weekend. I suppose the first question I've got for you guys is, how are you? Let me know in the comments, how's your week been? What's happened since we sat down for the last episode? I want to hear some wins, I want to hear some struggles. Let's, celebrate the success of a week of being an entrepreneur. Let me know down in the comments what's been going on. If you're winning, I want to hear about your winning. If you're struggling, comment on your struggles. Let's see if we can find you a solution to that. Let's hash it out and let's figure out what's going wrong. I've got a few more points this week than I did last week, and I suppose that's kind of just a natural progress as such. Of this channel, and making these kind of 30-minute videos, you're going to find a little bit more to talk about. You're going to be a little bit more conscious of yourself and what I'm trying to understand. So first off, I would actually like to say thank you to Jason. Now, Jason approached me after last week's video. He is an Irish entrepreneur. He also runs a digital marketing agency, but he is, so I've got a dog hair on my lip, trying to branch out into like video editing and things like that. And Jason has very kindly offered to come on board on a trial basis to edit some videos for me, and also to sharpen his skills. So I'm excited to see how we're going to push each other along with that. And Jason, thank you very much for your hard work already, dude. I'm very happy. So if you like the new format of videos that are going to be coming out, then please, let us know down in the comments. Or if you've got any suggestions, let us know as well. We'll take all those on board. So into kind of the main points of this week, and the first main point actually goes back to last Saturday's video, and it was the anxiety around releasing last week's video. Now, public speaking is not something I'm new to. I have delivered talks all around Europe. I've taught people in the British Army, I've instructed, I've led groups of individuals on exercises around the globe, and gobbing off in front of someone isn't something that is new to me, yet it felt very new to me last week, and I think that's just because there was a camera in my face, and it was an audience that I can't see. You can't gauge the audience behind that, and I had a lot of anxiety around releasing that. I think especially after I'd recorded it and uploaded it and actually scheduled it. I went to pick my fiance up from work, and she was asking, how I'm feeling, how did it go, and the honest answer was I felt sick. I felt, really sick to my stomach. I felt nauseous, a bit clammy. Probably the classic signs of a bit of a panic attack. And in reality, it was all fine. And I think, the reception that it's had, the video, I've had a lot of feedback from people who I know who actually mean an awful lot to me. So if you have reached out after last week's video, thank you. I do appreciate it. And, they said, oh, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. It was a good place for me to come and actually, not empathise, come to from a place of, oh, shit, yeah, I know how that feels, kind of thing. And I think that something I've taken into this week is that I'm probably going to get anxious about a lot of things, but I never know the outcome until until it's out there and it's done. And then when it is done, it's actually not that bad, and it pushes you past that little fear belief and that breaking point as such. So yeah, this is now video number 3 on the channel. The channel is growing quite nicely. I think we're at like 9 subscribers at the time of recording, and I've got over 100 views across the videos, which in the grand schemes of YouTube it isn't an awful lot, but that's potentially 100 people that are gaining some information, some knowledge and some insight from those videos. So that's better than me not putting them out in my eyes, and I will take that. I will take putting out all these hours and hours and hours of videos for 100 views any day of the week, if that's what helps you guys. So that was my kind of first point. And it leads very nicely into my next one, which I've been talking to a few, different agency owners this week, as well as the business owners that I speak to on a daily basis. And a lot of their anxiety comes, especially in the beginning, from actually sitting down and speaking to business owners. There is this really strange misconception that when you start an agency, that business owners are scary people, and they are not. And I don't understand why people put them on a pedestal, because although yes, they're a business owner and they're doing important things and they make money with their business and so on and so forth, you're also a business owner and you do the exact same thing. You make money with your business, you help people, you deliver your products and your services. So I think we need to stop putting business owners on a pedestal. And I learned this very, very quickly. I was actually chatting to my mum when I first started my agency a few years ago, and she said to me, I don't understand why you do that and why you're anxious about it. You came into the world probably the same way. You go to the toilet the same as those people, you eat the same as those people, you sleep the same as those people, and at the end of it all, you're going to go out the same way. Stop putting them on a pedestal. And I thought that was nice. My mum isn't known for being a wordsmith, so I found a better quote online. I can't remember who it was from, so if you do know who this quote is from, then please do mention in the comments. But it's basically, after a game of chess, the king and the pawn go back into the same box, and I think that's just a really nice way to encapsulate that, and to just go with, obviously still with a position of respect for what that person is doing and what they're achieving, but just know they are another human being like you and I. They still have feelings, they still have a family, and they still wipe their ass, essentially. The next point, planning a wedding is stressful. So as you may or may not know, we are getting married next year. We're getting married in September. We've hopefully got a beautiful wedding planned, and with Alicia's attention to detail, it's going to be absolutely perfect. But it is so stressful, and I just wanted to come and vent about that a little bit, because you go to work with your stressors, and I'm going to come on to this in a second. And you can be having a particularly bad week, and you come home and you're still expected to be there and be present when planning this, and it is draining, especially when you live life in your own head a lot. Don't get me wrong, it was good, and we made some good progress this week. One thing I still need to do, and thank you for reminding me, guys, is wedding insurance, because I've had the venue phone me twice this week saying we need this, so I need to sort that out. We've got our invites designed, and we're going to make those this weekend with my mum, because she's quite crafty and she likes that kind of thing. So yeah, planning a wedding is probably one of the most stressful things I've ever done, more so than running a business, and probably more so than the 8.5 years that I spent in the military. Read into that what you will. But it also comes down to stress versus passion, and this is something that I think I've been able to differentiate quite well this week, is stress versus passion. I firmly believe that the reason I feel or can exhibit what we would know as stress within my work week, within my private life and my personal life, those kind of things, is because I'm insanely passionate about a lot of the things that I do. I'm insanely passionate about my business, passionate about the people I work with, the people who work at On The Line Digital, and obviously those clients that we serve, and as a byproduct of that, their clients as well, with the products and events and what have you that they sell. And I think the minute that it actually becomes stress and you start to get ill from those kind of stress-like symptoms, it is no longer a passion, and that's when it becomes a job. And that, I think, is when I'm going to know it's time to quit. That's just some musings on that, some thoughts on that of stress versus passion. I think the reason that I can constantly feel like that is because I'm just very passionate about what I do. I want the best, and I hope that can kind of clear up some of your own feelings as well, around, if you're feeling stressed, if you're worried about revenue or deliverables or team or whatever. I hope that can kind of ground you a little bit with that. Just a very, very quick point there. I have two more here, and the first point of that is choosing a coach. Now, I am very fortunate to have worked with what I believe are some of the best coaches, either in the UK or in the world, in the agency space. I've spent an awful lot of money on mentoring and education around the agency space, around business, and the subjects come on to this. I put a status out the other week talking about if someone's using an attraction marketing method and they're using photos of fucking Louis Vuitton and rented Ferraris and expensive watches on business trips to Dubai and things like that, and that's what entices you, great. And if those materialistic items are what you desire, then great. But just make sure that those are your values and that you've got your values aligned. I think the only time that really comes into compromise is if the only reason you are in this is to just make pure money for those materialistic items and you don't give a shit about your deliverables. Someone called me out on this, and this person always kind of challenges my beliefs, and I really appreciate that about that person. So Bez, if you do watch this, thank you for consistently doing that, and I hope that we continue to get to do that with each other in the future, because I do actually appreciate those kind of comments. It's constructive, it's always done in a polite and respectful way, and it's challenging each other's beliefs, which is good, and I hope that resonates actually with a lot of people with my content. What they said to me is, what if that is what drives that person? No, that's fine, that can be what drives that person. I like nice cars, I like nice watches. I don't know about Dubai because I've never been, but I like holidays and things like that, and I like the nice things in life. But I don't do what I do, and I don't sell to my customers just so I can have a Rolex on my wrist and a Porsche on the driveway. Of course, money is a byproduct of running a business, but I do what I do because I am insanely passionate about it and the people that I serve. So I think if you're at the point where you are choosing a coach or a mentor or a program, that your values align with your coaches and your coaches' values align with yours. It doesn't have to be 100% synergy, and I think it's probably very, very rare that you would find someone with 100% synergy in terms of your value alignment. But I think it's important that you believe in the same things and you want the same things and you stand for the same things. And then my last point this week kind of encompasses a little bit of all of this. And I simply have written here pistachio lattes. Now, I met with someone who I've been conversing with for a long time on Instagram. I actually approached his business last year to run ads for their business, and the call kind of never materialized, and we've spent a lot of time getting to know each other online recently, especially over the last year or so. We've had a couple of calls before, and really kind of getting to know what makes each other tick. And this business owner has recently moved to Manchester in like the last 3 months. He's spending a lot more time up here from London, and he runs his own businesses. He's an investor. He's just an all-round humanitarian and an absolutely great guy for someone who is still quite considerably young. I think he's in his 30s, his early 30s, and he is just probably one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Now, we met this week, and we talked a lot about business and how my business can interact with his and his with mine, and what a partnership looks like in that sense, in terms of like a commercial agreement. And it was a very, very good hour and a half. We sat having coffee at a lovely cafe in Manchester. If you're ever in Manchester, please visit La Vie Cafe, just off of Exchange Street in Manchester. It is absolutely fantastic. The staff are incredible. And he bought pistachio lattes, and the conversation we shared over that latte was, I think, going to be probably one of the biggest conversations I'm going to be having in my business for quite a while. And there is a lot of synergy there to be had, and I'm very, very excited to see where we go with this over the next 5 years, and where this takes us. There's a lot of big ideas that were flowing from both sides of the table, and I'm genuinely excited to see kind of what we can offer each other. And with that, I think the anxiety around going out and meeting someone who is turning over so much revenue and is doing such great things in his own business and with other people's businesses, it was very, very nerve-wracking. But I'm glad I did. A, because I've made a new genuine connection in the world of business, and I like to think that we got on well. And B, I discovered I absolutely love pistachio lattes, and it is something that I haven't stopped thinking about since Wednesday morning. So I believe that is it in my diary this week for the weekly musings of a digital entrepreneur. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. Like the video, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And I shall see you later in the week with another couple of videos. Have a fantastic weekend, and I hope that the next week is prosperous for you. Take care.